What if everything in your life looks fine, but you still feel empty inside? What if the problem isn't that you don't have opportunities, but that you don't believe you're worthy of them? Think for a moment. If you are the same person today that you were yesterday, and you're going to be the same tomorrow, are you really moving forward? The truth is, most people don't fail. They simply never start. They wait for the right time, the right mood, the right opportunity. And in that waiting, their whole life passes by. But what if there is only one thing standing between you and your best life? Not money, not talent, not luck, just one thing: your belief in yourself. Because the day you stop doubting yourself is the day your life starts to change. And in today's video, you'll learn why confidence is not just a feeling. It's a decision that can change your entire life. If you also want to change your life, watch this video until the end, because at the end, I'll share a secret that can completely transform your life. Alex was a 27-year-old young man. He had a good job, a nice apartment, good friends, and a decent routine. And that was the problem. His life was fine, just enough to survive, but not meaningful enough to excite him. Every night he would tell himself, "I want more income, more discipline, more confidence, a better body, a smarter circle of friends, and a future that shows freedom instead of repetition." He even had ideas: a side business, a content page, a new certification. He even had a plan to learn sales and increase his income. But every time he got close to starting, a thought would appear: maybe I'm not that kind of person. And that one thought quietly controlled everything. Because self-doubt doesn't always shout loudly. Sometimes it whispers. It tells you to wait. Do more research. Start next month. Keep watching instead of creating. And this is how people lose years. Not because they can't win, but because they never enter the game. One question: have you ever prepared for something for so long that preparation itself became your hobby? Exactly. Alex wasn't lazy. He was scared, and many people call fear planning. But eventually, life asks all of us one question. If you keep doubting yourself, how much of your future are you willing to sacrifice? One morning, Alex heard a sentence that stayed in his mind the entire day. No one is coming to choose you. There comes a point when you have to choose yourself. That line stayed with him because it was true. Most people are waiting for permission. Permission from family. Permission to succeed. Permission to believe. Permission for that perfect moment. That never comes. But greatness doesn't begin when the world accepts you. It begins when you believe in your own potential enough to take action. And that's what self-belief really means. It's not thinking you're perfect. It's believing that you can learn, adapt, recover, and move forward. That day, Alex realized something. He had been living as if confidence should come first. But confidence almost never comes first. The decision comes first. The decision to move forward. The decision to try. And the decision to stop shrinking your dreams. Just because your current identity feels smaller than them. And the moment you make that decision, something changes. You stop being a spectator in your own life. You start becoming a participant. No golden envelope is coming to your door saying, "Congratulations, you are now allowed to chase greatness." That permission, you give it to yourself. But making a decision is just the beginning. Because the next challenge is much harder. How do you keep believing in yourself when results aren't visible yet? Many people think fear means they're on the wrong path. But sometimes, fear is a sign that you're standing on the edge of growth. Alex felt fear every time he did something important. When he posted, when he introduced himself with confidence, when he applied for better opportunities, when he started saying no to distractions and yes to discipline. The fear kept coming back, but eventually he understood something powerful. Fear wasn't proof that he was incapable. It was proof that he was pushing himself forward. And that changes everything. Because if you misunderstand fear, you step back. You return to comfort, to habits that feel safe, and you shrink back into a smaller version of yourself. But if you understand fear correctly, you move forward with awareness, not recklessly, not blindly, but with courage. This is what successful people eventually learn. They stop asking, "How do I avoid fear?" And they start asking, "What is this fear preparing me for?" Be honest. If your dream doesn't scare you even a little, then maybe it's just a to-do list. Fear often shows up near the doors. That matter the most. But there was still one problem Alex had to solve. Because believing in yourself becomes difficult when your environment constantly reminds you of who you used to be. When you start changing yourself, not everyone claps. Some people get uncomfortable when you start taking your life seriously, because your growth reminds them of their excuses. Alex realized this very quickly. When he stopped wasting weekends, some friends started calling him boring. When he talked about bigger dreams, people mocked him for doing too much. When he invested money in learning instead of showing off, some people simply didn't understand him. And this is the point where many dreams break. Not because of failure, but because of social pressure. The fear of looking different, the loneliness. That comes when you outgrow a life that no longer fits you. But if you want greatness, you must protect your mind. You have to choose what you listen to, what you watch, what you consider normal, and whose opinions are allowed to reach your confidence. Because self-belief is not something you build once. It's something you have to protect constantly. A wealthy life is not built by income alone. It is built by standards. The standards of your time, the standards of your focus, the standards of your habits, and the standards of your circle, and the standards of your self-respect. And when your standards rise, your life naturally follows. You can't say you want an extraordinary future while taking advice from people who are fully committed to an average life. This is not harsh. It's just the truth. And when Alex stopped expecting everyone to understand his growth, he learned the final lesson. Greatness doesn't happen in a moment. It grows slowly and compounds over time. Months passed. Alex didn't become famous. He didn't get rich overnight. He didn't suddenly become perfect. But he had changed. The way he walked had changed. The way he spoke had changed. The way he spent money had changed. The way he thought had changed. Why? Because self-belief was no longer a temporary feeling. It had become his identity. And that is the real turning point. When self-belief is no longer just a moment of motivation, but becomes the lens through which you see life. You keep the promises you make to yourself. You recover from failure faster. You set bigger goals, because you no longer see your current state as your final form. That's how greatness begins. Quietly, daily, repeatedly. And this principle applies to everything. Whether you want better health, more money, more confidence, a stronger career, or a peaceful and fulfilling life. You don't get there because you feel powerful. You get there because you act with power in small decisions. Alex's life changed because he stopped asking, "What if I fail?" and started asking, "What if I keep betraying my own potential?" That question created urgency inside him, because time is passing, whether you act or not. And one of the most painful truths in life is this: realizing that you could have become more if you had believed in yourself earlier. Just imagine, you meet your future self, and you have to explain to him why you kept delaying his life again and again. That would be a difficult conversation. So the real question is, if self-belief is the first step toward greatness, what is the step you are still refusing to take? Believing in yourself is not ego. It's responsibility. It's the decision to stop living below your potential. It's the decision to stop handing your future over to fear. It's the decision to stop asking for permission to become who you were meant to be. You may not have all the answers right now. You may not have all the money, full clarity, or complete confidence. But you don't need all of that to start. You only need one thing: enough belief to take the next step. That's where greatness begins. One step, one promise you keep to yourself, one brave decision, repeated so many times that it becomes your life. If this video touched your heart, don't let it become just another moment of motivation that you forget tomorrow. Use it. Choose one area of your life where you've been hesitating: your health, your money, your purpose, your discipline, your career. And take one step today. And if you want more videos like this that strengthen your mindset, improve your habits, and help you build a truly successful life, subscribe to the channel. Because this is not just about feeling motivated, it's about becoming the person your future is waiting for.